Greetings and welcome to another alternate Thursday presentation. Right, kinda felt in the mood to do something grand and also show off a birthday gift. I don't do that nearly enough. So today I'm gonna show you a little bit of playthrough from Democracy 3. A game made by the same guy who made Gratuitous Space Battles and Gratuitous Tank Battles, I think. Well, I could look it up, but I don't want to. Now this is vanilla Democracy 3, not without the what's it called, the DLC for social engineering, because that came out after I got it, and I haven't had the time or money to buy that, so we'll do that. Now in Democracy 3 you get to play as the ruling party of a great democracy. So that's what we'll be doing, playing with the greatest democracy we have. Now unfortunately you can't play as Belgium, but in lieu of a better one, let's try the United States. It's quite big. Well, there's all these various stats. 16% poverty, that's a lot for a country that wealthy. Anyway, so let's dive right in before I go completely nuts with all the details. I'll not change much of the settings here, that's all fine. A 4-year term length and 2 terms, which is fine. Now we can of course choose a party or name one ourselves. It doesn't really matter which party you pick, they're all the same. Every party is the same, and you just play as you want to play. Alright, so I'll be the Liberal Party. Congratulations on your election victory. Welcome to your new job as president. The lives of all this many citizens are now in your hands. As you will imagine, there are a number of situations and concerns that you will need to deal with as soon as possible, while keeping an eye on the long-term improvement of our citizens' quality of life. Plus, do not forget that you face re-election in 4 years, so you will need to monitor the opinion polls and our party membership. Good luck! Right, so America is in deep trouble. It makes almost no money, its citizens are of poor health, it has some education. In fact, that's the only thing really going for it. Poverty is quite high, crime is off the charts, and there's record numbers of unemployment. So let's dive right in. Right, welcome to the government. Now, basically all these bubbles represents something, which will be clear once I click on one. That, for instance, let's pick I need one, like GDP, Gross Domestic Product. It's flatlined and fairly low. It has an effect on all these. Green means it has a positive effect. Red means it has a negative effect. So capitalists do not like that GDP is this low. The environment is affected by that. And equality is affected by that and all that. Also, it does make our currency quite weak. Now, the causes for the GDP being this low are vast and numerous. Anyway, so we'll be trying to bolster that. Now, in the center here we have the general population, most of which are, by the looks of things, conservatives and capitalists. Patriots are slightly bigger. There's also a fair number of liberals and socialists who do not like me. And the rest, well, the religious are quite well represented. We might have to face that, because essentially this is also sort of a game of how long can you survive till you're assassinated if you pick something really stupid. Now, we have 26 political capital, which we get from our various ministers. We could get more if they like what we're doing, but for now this is all we have. We have about 1.1 billion of income and 1.2 billion of expenditure, which means we have a deficit. And quite a high debt. Now if your debt goes above 4,000 billion, that's not the right word, but then we get extra problems which I can't solve, so let's try to not do that. Now the biggest problems we're facing right now, before we actually even get into our turn, we have homelessness. And in order to get rid of it, we need to get this blue line underneath the green line. Yeah, that's it. That's the only way, because situations like homelessness and other problems will activate once they hit the red line, because they're invisible until they do, and they will not stop until they hit the green line, which is pretty much the same. We have an uncompetitive economy, which we should be able to solve by fixing up productivity. The pollution is very high, and we have a skills shortage. Not enough skilled workers. Now, on the other side, here in the law and order section, we have internet crime, antisocial behavior, vigilante mobs, and alcohol abuse, which is all very bad. We also have an asthma epidemic and a drug addiction problem. Alright, let's get starting to solve this. Let's see. No, that's the sales tax. We need income, basically. And one way I like doing that to start with is the capital gains tax. So money you earn by making money. We'll push that up to 30. And we'll also need to implement some new policies now. We have the most problems in the law and order section, so we'll try to work on that. Let's get the Race Discrimination Act into place. All the way to maximum. It's only in the millions, so that's really affordable. I also want to implement something to stimulate business. In this case, telecommuting initiative. Basically working from home. Which will also reduce the amount of congestion on the roads. I'll push that up to 5 billion a quarter, because right now we have loads of cars on the roads. Right, I have 15 political capital left. I can't do anything here. What else do I want to do? Ah yes, I want to reduce the border controls to just above there to allow more immigrants in, so we can solve our skills shortage. And that's pretty much all I can do this turn. So let's see. There's also the intelligence about where people are now. The top row are fairly beneficial or benign people. They will complain about what you're doing, but they will not actually act on it, besides not vote for you. The bottom row are basically the extremists. They will try to kill me if they don't like what I'm doing. Now there's loads of charts where you can actually see what you're doing and all that, and it's all very good and very in detail, and I will not go into that in depth right now because I don't have the time. Here we can see how much we're spending. Now most of our spending is military and state pensions. There's nothing much we can really do about that. Our income, most of it comes from the income tax, which by clicking on we can see is at 31%. I'll want to reduce that at some point. And here we can see basically what the rest is doing now. Since we just started, nothing has really changed. Basically we need to get the green line here to go above the red line, so we can get rid of our debt. And we need some help from the global economy to help us do that. But for now, let's go to the next turn. Right, so nothing really much has changed in these sliders. And we have a new problem that has cropped up. The debt protection law. Debt collection agencies have been in the news because of the aggressive methods they are using to extract payment from people who owe large sums of money. These debt collection agencies provide credit to people whom larger, more respected companies will not lend money. A law is proposed to limit the ways in which such agencies can operate. Alright, we can limit it or we can allow them. I'll say limit. Because we have got quite enough problems already. Alright, our credit rating is just B, but it hasn't gone down, so that's fine. Only 27% of the people intend to vote for us. And... alright. One of the traditional values lines is mounting an online campaign against the government. And we have 29 political capital. How do we exploit that? Well, first off, we're gonna reduce the military. Let's see, by 50,000, 50 billion. And let's see, what else can we do? I want to do a whole lot of things, but for now let's introduce community policing. And we'll leave it where it is. That should help reduce the antisocial behavior and the alcohol abuse. I still have 9 political capital. Is there anything else I can introduce? And that costs money. Let's introduce the enterprise investment scheme that will boost up the amount of people that will be able to start a business. And we'll go on to the next turn. Again, nothing has really changed yet, but the global economy is helping, so... and more people are voting for us. There have been calls for a law to increase the availability of information held on the databases about citizens without their knowledge. These include the records held by private medical companies, insurance companies and debt collection agencies as well, information held. Yeah, I'll propose a Freedom Act. Everybody needs to know information. That's the only way to make sure that nobody can hold it against me. I have 28 capital. I'm gonna have to cut into the state pensions to just above low. That'll bring our expenditures a little bit down. And our deficit is still very high though. I don't think I can introduce anything else. Or improve anything else. No, I don't have the capital for that. I'll go with the clean energy subsidies though. And bring that as low as I can. There. That should help with the environment a little bit. Let's see if it has changed a little bit. You see, the skill shortage is going down somewhat. But we are not anywhere near close. How about, see, the vigilante mobs are going down. As is the antisocial behavior. Ooh, stress epidemic. And our credit rating went down. That is not good. 31%. The Human Rights Society is criticizing us. Oh well. Let's keep on digging that hole for ourselves. We need money. Though our deficit isn't quite as high, so let's... Alright, let's get some proper systems going. I want toll roads, but I don't have the capital for that. So... let's get some fuel standards. And... well, this is expensive. And we also need some other stuff, like youth clubs, to help reduce the crime. And I'll put that to... maximum is a little bit too high. I want to save money right now. We'll just put it to 4 billion. Still have 9 capital. I'll improve the prison system a little bit. That'll take some time to implement, but it should help in the long run. And we need to go another turn. There's a proposal for a law to outlaw the advertising of alcohol on television, although it would remain illegal to advertise on radio, billboards and other means. TV is seen as a potential way to reduce alcohol intake by our citizens. Well, we do have an alcohol abuse problem, but of course banning this would upset the liberals. Well, I'll approve the ban. Is there any threat yet? Nope. Nothing yet. The Human Rights Society don't like me, but that's nothing I can really do anything about. Right, let's get to toll roads. Capitalists will like this, as will the commuters. The motorists will hate it, and they will lose money. Let's not go overboard. Let's just introduce it and see where it leads. How does this... the car usage is going down. And traffic congestion is also going down. Alright, next turn. Actually make sure that this isn't changing. Children's food. A law has been proposed to regulate the fat content and nutritional value of food sold to children, including food sold in fast food restaurants and of course food served in schools. This is likely to incur costs for the food retailers. Well, that's regulated. 38%. Yeah. Still not much, but we have some way to go. Don't have a lot of capital though. I need to get rid of some crime. Let's increase law enforcement. That's way easier to increase than remove, but for now it'll have to do. And I'll increase this to maximum. Let's get some hybrid cars on the road. Alright, public services. This is cheaper. Can I implement anything else? Nothing I really want to change. What are we doing here? Nothing much. I want to increase the education system, but I can't afford it right now. Right, let's keep going. Ooh, one of our ministers is not happy about what we're doing, but finally we're seeing a change. Health is going up and crime is going down. There's an immigration scandal, which doesn't help. But for now we're still looking fine. Oh yes, we're not anywhere close to getting rid of that skill shortage. Well, at least our deficit isn't growing much. So let's do something about that. Let's get more people into college. Damn it, don't have the capital for that. Yes, I need more. And let's help the poor out a bit more. I really need to raise taxes on something. Really, the only thing we have going for us is a technological advantage. Probably because of the space program. I need to get rid of at least one. Ah! Uncompetitive economy will go away next turn. Right then. Yay! GDP is going up, crime down, poverty down, the uncompetitive economy and antisocial behavior are both gone. There's a proposal to outlaw the advertising tobacco on television, although it would remain legal. Yeah, that's the same. Alright, I'll approve that. And we're finally getting positive numbers. Let's keep this going. I will see you all in the next episode.